Good morning, good evening, good day, good night, wherever you are in the world. I am Tim, back once again for the Speed Force Racing GP2 series, back with my co-commentator, as always. Oliver, how are you doing this week?
Yeah, man, it's good. Very, very good. Very interesting week in Formula One, we can say, Tim, with the Dutch Grand Prix, and a couple of big driver transfers. Very big, big news in Formula One.
Exactly, yeah, there is a lot of big news, and definitely a better week in Formula One than it was last week following the Belgian Grand Prix. But yes, Valtteri Bottas, probably the biggest news of the week, is he is going to Alfa Romeo while George Russell is taking his seat at Mercedes. And I know that none of us saw that coming at all. I know I was completely just blindsided by the news because George Russell, I just thought, was a permanent Williams driver. And of course, I'm being sarcastic.
He was part of the Mercedes program, so with him going to Merck finally after a well-deserved seat in Mercedes, now Hamilton's got a prominent wingman to guide, and one day, once he leaves Mercedes, George Russell will be the next main British marksman to be taken over at Mercedes once Hamilton retires in the next, I don't know, possibly 4 to 3 years or so. So, yeah, congratulations to George, and Albon probably going to Williams, maybe, we don't know. So, hopefully that might happen. But yeah, got a good day today. We are in Canada, so one of your favourite tracks, Tim, unfortunately wasn't the best of days for you on Monday. Bless you.
No, it really wasn't. But Russell to Mercedes was the worst kept secret in the garage area. I'm just going to say that. But yeah, Monday, not a good day. Pretty much my race was over in turn 1, lap 1. That was my fault. I accidentally got into the back of someone. Thankfully did not ruin their race, but ruined mine with wing damage. So you move on. But I did run a decently fast lap, so I had pace at Canada. I just never really got to show it because I made a mistake. But it's one of my favorite tracks. It's really one of the few tracks that I really feel like I can just get up on the wheel and just be a wheelman and just really get the car to do what I want it to do. There's a lot of tracks that I feel like I'm just on ice the whole time, like Monaco where we were, even Bahrain, even though I do kind of like Bahrain. Canada, for some reason, a lot of people hate it, but I love it. And France coming up next week, I'm finding that I actually do like that track as well. But we need to focus on the GP2 race. There is a slight delay right now. We had a little bit of technical difficulties going into this race. So we'll use this time wisely and update you on the point standings. Now, this is going to come to no surprise that Carwin Robb in the Haas is most definitely leading the GP2 point standings. And, you know, that's because he's won like 3 out of 4 races so far, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I mean, Carwin Robb is on another level right now, so with Carwin Robb literally dominating GP2 at the moment, hopefully it won't be an all-way sideshow. Hopefully we've got some drivers winning other races. Hopefully we get a proper title fight, but you can't take away Carwin Robb. He's been the star of the show, and he'll probably be doing the same again probably in Canada.
Yeah, and so Carwin Robb, he has pretty much led the points all season long so far. But TRT Trent, his teammate in the Haas, was able to get a podium alongside him last week in Azerbaijan. So that just shows that there is strength and pace with all the Haas boys here. I was going to say all of those drivers, but there's only 2 drivers. I think my mindset is still stuck in NASCAR. I watched the race on Saturday, it was Saturday, and now I'm stuck on the 4-car teams.
It's a bit different to NASCAR to Formula One.
Well, I've also been waiting for NASCAR silly season news, so we were talking about Formula One silly season, and it just, my wires got a little crossed there. I just had a Red Bull, so I am pretty wound up as well.
So, Canadian Grand Prix, the Circuit de Gilles Villeneuve, GP2, rain could be a factor, so you never know. You never know what this track's going to bring. I mean, if you want to talk about GP5 as well, Tim, my brother, again, 3rd win in a row, leading the standings now, well deserved. I mean, it's my brother at the end of the day, innit, Tim?
Do what?
It's my brother at the end of the day, just be my brother, innit?
Oh, yeah, yeah, exactly. Now, I'm actually reading the chat here. Mr. Bread, I don't know who you are, but he says, will Tim say my name the way he wanted to today? Well, that depends. Who is Mr. Bread? Because we don't have a Mr. Bread in the lobby.
He does ring a bell. He does ring a bell, but he has to tell us his PSN. He does ring a bell, though. I think I don't know. It can't be Macaulay, surely. Nah, it can't be Macaulay.
No, I think it might be, actually. I was talking to him.
It is actually Macaulay.
I'm not sure. I was talking to him. I was talking to Shu. I was talking to a lot of drivers this past week, so it could be anyone. I'm trying to make sure that I can say their name because us Americans, we are not always the sharpest cats in the crayon box. We need help pronouncing names sometimes.
So, we're going to be seeing some ridiculous lap times today for GP2. I'm thinking, and who's going to do the medium strategy, because the soft tyres will probably run for good on the 7 laps before they burn off.
Now, how did that work in yesterday's race, Oliver? Because it didn't seem to work.
I wasn't there, so I wouldn't know.
You missed a race?
I did miss a race, yes.
Oh my goodness, what happened, dude?
I was very busy sorting out job stuff.
Ah, yes, I see. It's unfortunate that it had to happen right as you were about to race, but I think you hate Canada too, so maybe you got out lucky.
Oh, it's a blessing that I missed Canada. I actually don't. Out of all the races I had to miss it, I'm glad it was that one. I'm looking forward to the French Grand Prix.
So still waiting to get this underway. I think we are about to start. Just making sure that all of our drivers that are attending are here, and then we can get ready. Sorry for the delay for those of you watching, but we got all 7 of you in here.
Do you think that George Russell's move to Mercedes is super well deserved?
Oh yeah.
For the performance he's done.
Oh, of course. I mean, he got a podium in a Williams. Now, granted, it was a bit of a fluke, but he still had the pace on the day of qualifying to get into second place, so it was deserved. And he's been so close to points before that. I know that they did ultimately score points a few weeks ago, but before they were able to, like Imola, he had a good run going. And he would have won the Secure Grand Prix last year had that not been the one race per year that Mercedes decides that they need to mess up. Because it just seems like every year Mercedes has at least one pit stop blunder. And honestly, that's impressive for a team at their standard. Because you don't expect it from them. But it goes to show that everyone can make mistakes, and they just happen to. But hey, Sergio Perez, the big winner out of that one.
I'm thinking now we got Red Bull signing Perez up for the next season. Now Mercedes has signed George Russell for next season. I'm thinking the constructors battle for the constructors battle next season to Red Bull and Mercedes is going to be something else.
It really is, and it's something else even this season, Oliver. I mean, they have traded the points lead. You know, Lewis Hamilton, Max Verstappen, of course. There's been a lot of fireworks there, both on and off the track. Not necessarily with the drivers.
Looks like we're getting out of the way. Let's go.
Exactly. But let's not forget the infamous Silverstone incident. That's the biggest.
The infamous one.
Yeah, that is definitely the biggest set of fireworks with this battle between the drivers. But we are now officially getting underway with the GP2 Canadian Grand Prix. Of course, we have qualifying up first, but at least it's time to race.
So, we both driven Canada, Tim. What's your thoughts of Canada on this year's game?
Overall, this year's game, I think, has just been a massive improvement on the way that the cars handle it. It feels like they actually have grip instead of driving on ice. A lot of drivers don't like it. I know a few of them that really don't like the improvements of this game and how it drives, but that's one reason why I just decided to race in GP5 is because it's the first time that I feel like I can actually have some grip, and it drives like I would imagine a Formula One car would drive. In Canada itself, oh my goodness, it is going to rain, at least in qualifying.
Let's go.
So Canada itself, in the dry, like I said, it is a track that I absolutely love. I have pace here. I am comfortable here. I'm confident here. And surprisingly, I'm decent at avoiding time penalties. I still get them plenty of times. But it is one of the few tracks that I feel like I can really get up on the wheel. So I was excited entering Canada this week, and I'm excited to see how it goes in the GP2 series.
So now the drivers have got the wet qualifying. I don't know what on earth's going to happen in the race. I really don't know. Oh, we've got a Merc out. I believe that's Morris. I believe that's Morris in the Merc.
Well, Oliver, we have someone saying that it is going to be a wet race. So wet qualifying, wet race. It's going to be a rainy day in Canada.
The GP2 guys are not going to get a nice day today. Say that for a fact.
And Morris is the first car out. There's the infamous Vettel versus Hamilton corner. You know, the one where Vettel shouldn't have got a time penalty but did. Yes, I'm still salty about that.
When everything sort of involves Sebastian Vettel, yes, you would be a bit salty about it, wouldn't you?
Well, I'm not salty about him getting disqualified from the French Grand Prix earlier this year because, well, I was asleep for that. Or it wasn't the French Grand Prix. I'm stuck on next week in SFR. But I'm not salty about him getting disqualified because I was asleep for that. So if I didn't see it, it didn't happen.
So Morris at the moment, just getting his feels for the track. If it's rainy throughout the qualifying, Tim, if it's going to be a dry start and wet race to the end, then they could have the free choice of tyre for the race start. So if the drivers were hoping and praying if it's going to be a dry race for the start and not for a wet race at the start. Here goes Morris Pace now starting his lap.
Into turn one, but then when you get to turn two, this is such an acute angle that you have to turn. It is just a difficult corner in general. You're pretty much having to turn around and kiss your own rear end around the second corner. And then you get to the third and fourth corner. That's a easy corner to pick up some time penalties, but if you get it right, it is so satisfying. This corner I particularly had a lot of trouble with. You can use a lot of curve there, but if you use too much, that's just another chance to pick up a time penalty. And then you got to be very careful with the throttle out of that corner. When you get to the DRS zone, you can just nail the DRS, and then you have a nice boost down the straightaway before you have to slow way down into fourth gear.
He's invalidated.
And he has invalidated. Yes, you're right, Oliver. And did he just do that entering that one chicane?
I think he might have done it either. Trench has moved out the way, so we're going to go to Carwin. Carwin rolls the next car to do this lap.
Now the hairpin, you really want to match the gas when you're exiting the hairpin, but the car just won't let you. So you have to really ease into it and get the best exit that you can. Use the DRS as soon as you can, and this is time penalty central right there. The chicane at the Wall of Champions. It is an insane way to pick up a time penalty. It's awful. Carwin Robb, a 118.4, good lap in the wet, possibly a pole lap if history tells us anything about Carwin Robb.
So Carwin Robb showing his dominance once more in the wet conditions again, and next gamer is retired in the pits.
Take a look at Shu here in the AlphaTauri. Riding on board with him, he is on a lap. So far, so good. A little bit wide to that chicane. This is just a banker lap anyway. Seventh gear approaching the hairpin. Nice tight line through there. Very smooth exit.
So, with these mixed conditions now, Tim, is this going to bring the field a lot more closer?
I really can't say because it just depends. They know it's going to be a wet race, so I'd say that it will, simply because they have time to get a wet setup ready.
Shoaib comes towards the line now, 18.2, fastest lap of the session so far.
Now looking at the Alfa Romeo of Luke Bailey. Approaching the hairpin now.
Kyle Robb 18.0, fastest lap. Back to pole.
So the only thing that I'm disappointed with it being a wet race today is that we don't get to see the nice DRS runs that you get down this straightaway. in the third sector.
No, but it also tests the driver's ability to know when to go on the power, but to be good on the brakes, how good your throttle inputs are, and everything else.
So Luke Bailey a 119.496, TRT Trench a 119.254 on the board, good enough for 6th place. Take a look at Max Orris in the Red Bull as Calvin Racing goes a 141.6, definitely a banker lap if I've ever seen one, must have really messed that one up. Here comes Max Orris through the final corner. Very stable through there, especially in the wet. That says something. As he crosses the line, he goes to P9, a 119.874. Let's take a look at McCauley down here in the Aston Martin.
We got reserved, by the way, Tim. We got Martin from GP3. He's reserving today.
Martin in the Alpine. Of course, he's in the pit, so I can't take a look at him just yet. And Collie goes down into the pits anyway, so can't take a look at him either. Let's see who else is on a lap.
Shane Gabriel's about to cross the line, Tim, in the other AlphaTauri.
Shane Gabriel goes to third, a 118.733.
2 and 3 for AlphaTauri. Let's go, Colin AlphaTauri.
Here's Luke Bailey down the back straightaway once again. Does he go into the pits? No, he's going for another lap through the chicane past the wall of champions. Let's see if he improves.
Shane Game's out. Crashed out. Shane Game is out.
At least he got it the 3rd fastest time before he crashed out, or the 4th fastest time. Now Calvin goes 2nd quickest, a 118.181. Take a look at Max Orris. He might still be on a lap. He is on a lap. He's about to cross the line. Max Orris, does he improve? He does. Goes to 5th, a 118.853.
Good lap there from Calvin there. Very good lap.
Mack, it looks like he is on a lap, and Colley's on an out lap as well.
So, with these drivers now setting the laps, and they'll get a feel in for the circuit. And once they get a feel for the circuit, they'll be setting much more faster lap times.
Oh, and Mackett had a moment. He was actually in the grass for a minute. Has not invalidated, though, so he is still going forward. Mackett, of course, does not have a time on the board yet. He's going to have to get one soon. Just under 10 minutes remaining in this session. A big lockup, actually, going into this corner. So, is the rain starting to get a little bit heavier, Oliver, or is it just me?
It's just light. It very is light at the moment.
Mackett definitely struggling with this car, though. Another
Trench
huge lockup
up to
entering the hairpin.
4th. 18.565 for Trench.
I have a feeling today is going to be a Haas kind of day. What do you think?
I think another Haas day. I think so. Oh, Car's got to 4th in the Red Bull. Nicholas Mackett.
Past the wall of champions, down the front straightaway. Let's see what kind of lap Mackett can set. It's going to be a 118.147.
Williams having a field day today.
That is so impressive. He was locking up in practically every corner. He had a huge lockup going into the hairpin, but somehow he was able to find some speed out of that thing and go 2nd quickest. I am thoroughly impressed.
Calvin's 2/10 up on his lap as well in the Merc.
She was invalidated his lap, but that's just the out lap, so he will be okay. Morris is on a lap now. We'll take a look at him. He did not have the best qualifying earlier on. Here is his a chance at redemption, you could say, and there's a lockup there from Morris. I would say that that's going to slow him down, but as we've seen with Mackett, not necessarily.
I think Morris has got more of a smoother run. I think that in this car, if he could just dial in the final sector, he'll be very, very happy with his run.
So Morris going down the long pit straightaway through the final chicane and past the wall of champions. No invalidation there, so he is good to set a lap. Will he improve? He will. He goes to 7th, a 118.559 for Morris.
Mackett fastest. Wow.
117.594 for Mackett. Maybe it's going to be a Mackett kind of day instead of a Haas kind of day.
Well, shut our mouths here when it comes to Mackett. That's a fantastic lap from him.
Very impressive stuff from this driver in the Williams.
And we got Martin now on a lap in the Alpine.
So Martin just now going through the hairpin. Taking a moment to get to his camera angle, just not wanting to work with me today.
I got my camera angles are fine at the moment when it comes to Martin. No onboard shots for me.
Oh no, I mean it took me a minute just to get to him so we
could
look
yeah.
at him. Oh, and
Martin's
coming
in.
The pit, so he does not like what he was. Well, how that lap was going, he just does not like it going into the pits. I thought he was on for a pretty fast lap, but hey, you know, he knows the car better than we do.
Godolphin's about to set his lap in the McLaren.
He does not dive down into the pits, but he invalidates. So Godabo is not.
Is he invalidated for this lap though? So let's have a look. Oh, he's starting his lap now. Godabo's starting his lap now.
I guess that's the benefit of having the intermediate tires, is that you can really do 2 or 3 qualifying laps and still be okay for the race.
Indeed so. Get more running as well.
The only thing, see, I always figured that when I started racing, I was going to use the qualifying as a bit of a practice session, but now I'm realizing that you cannot do that at all, because the game is trying to simulate the way that the track temperature changes, and for whatever reason, it just seems awful in qualifying. There's no grip early on, and then in like the last minute, you have all the grip in the world, and I would love for a real-life Formula 1 driver like Lewis Hamilton or Max Verstappen to sit down and just critique the heck out of that, because I feel like that is not entirely accurate.
The top of massive locker on the right front. Oh, he's all over the place. Oh, good save. Godabo's not really looking comfortable out there, to be honest.
So still watching Shu as he goes down the pit straight, and he's going to go through the final chicane. Will he be able to improve his lap? 5 minutes remaining in the qualifying session as Shu crosses the line. Will he improve? He does. He goes quickest at 117.576
What
for Shu.
a sensational lap from Shoyab. That's a fantastic lap. And it's 18 thousandths faster.
So here's a little bit of backstory about him. As I mentioned that I was talking to him just earlier this week. When I started calling him Shu last season in GP4, that actually gave him a nickname. So now his girlfriend, his brother, his friends, they all call him Shu. That is just his permanent nickname at this point.
Suits him as well.
I told him I never gave anyone a nickname that they could say around their family before.
Here comes Maxarus. Maxarus goes fourth in the Red Bull.
Will he go out for another lap, though? I'm sure he will. He has a chance to get up there with Shu, but he's going to have to find pretty much half a second if he wants to contend for that pole position. Calvin Robb still in the pit. Surprised that we haven't seen him come back out.
It goes 2 ways when it comes to wet qualifying. It's a lottery. Do you want to push hard? Do you want to take it easy to save the car? Do you want to push on and risk it to go for the fastest lap? It's all comes to these things when you're driving in the wet, especially around Canada, when the walls are so close to you when you're doing 200 miles an hour.
Taking a look at Kara in the Red Bull, about to set his lap through the final chicane. Everything looks fine there. No invalidation. Kara will get a lap this time. Right on board them, and as he crosses the line, he goes third quickest at 117.819 for the Red Bull driver.
Well, Kara is just getting back to his old self, in my view. He is. And it comes, Morris, like you said.
Yeah, Kara, of course, he's the GP4 champion, and he pretty much made the huge step up to GP2 this season. Morris goes third place. So the times are starting to get very tight at the top of the board, Oliver.
Isn't it just? And the guys, and Kyle Robb is about to start his lap now. He needs to pull it out of the bag here.
And I'm sure that he will, though, Oliver. I mean, if history has told us anything the past 4 races with Carmen Robb, it's that he is going to be fast every single week.
Well, he needs to be fast today. He needs to find 5/10.
We'll ride on board with him for the
10
remainder
faster.
of this lap.
A first 10 faster in the first run, in the first sector.
Of course, the track does have a little bit more grip now. And through this chicane, no invalidation there. I always look for it. Every time they use the curb, I always look for it because you can cut it so close.
Indeed so, man. Indeed so.
Another 10 faster in the second sector. Now in the third and final sector, and down this very long straightaway. Would have DRS if it wasn't raining, but it is, so he has no DRS.
Here comes Kyle Robb now towards the line. Is there going to be one of those Kyle Robb sensational laps?
I think he's going to have the pole here, Oliver. Let's see. He goes to the pole. A 1:17.566 for Carmen Robb. 100th of a second quicker than Shu.
Well, are we not all surprised, Tim? Are we not all surprised?
Here comes Mackett starting his final lap. Currently, his best is a 1:17.594. The entire top 3 within a 10th of each other in the lap times.
In it just. I mean, GP2, does he surprise us? It's very close.
I expected it to be a little bit more spaced out in qualifying, at least in the wet weather qualifying, but hey, it just goes to show that it's not. But Mackett has invalidated his lap, so this will not be his timed lap, and I don't think he's got enough time to set another one, so I think what you see is what you get with him. We got a few drivers still on a lap. TRT Trench, Carmen Robb's teammate, he is on a lap, but he is also invalidated. Morris is on another lap. He's invalidated as well. Kara, he is on a lap, but he's actually going slow, so he is happy with what he has. Macaulay just went 7th quickest, a 1:17.798.
Kyle Robb's gone for another, Tim.
Let's see if Carmen Robb can beat his best. He does not, and that is it for Carmen Robb, a 1:17.5.
Mackett's about to cross the line now. If it is Mackett. Where is Mackett? I'm trying to think where he is.
He's
where
already
is
crossed
Mackett?
the line. He invalidated his lap.
Right.
Oh my goodness, and Maxorus, he spins and crashes out of the qualifying session. He just plowed the wall. There is no left front tire on that Red Bull. Maxorus is done for the qualifying, but hey, you know, the qualifying was already done, so it kind of works out well for him there. But his time is not going to be what he wants. It's a 1:18.027. Let's take a look at Morris.
Morris and Carr are the last ones to cross the line now. Oh, Carr's finished. He's just... So Carr's finished. What about Morris?
Morris is on a lap. This will be his final timed lap. Not sure if it's going to be that fast or not. Looks like he's pushing. Looks like he's going to go for it. But no, it's not going to be a fast lap.
And that's it. Carmen Robb again. Wow.
And really, that comes to no surprise as anyone. Carmen Robb, he has shown such dominance so far this season. I would not be surprised if he goes on to win this race. But, you know, we've got 35 laps to decide that one. I guess we'll just have to wait up the timer now.
It adjusts. So, now you've seen those times, Tim. What are you thinking? What do you think?
Well, Matt G, he's already saying Robb, Morris, Carr in any order. But here is your official starting lineup for the Speed Force Racing GP2 Series of Canadian Grand Prix. Carmen Robb on the pole. Shu in second place. Mackett in third. Fourth is Carr. Fifth is Morris. Calvin in sixth. Seventh is Macaulay. Trench in eighth. Ninth is Maxorus. Luke Bailey in 10th. Gadabo in 11th. 12th is Chain Game. Wow. Senna Martins in 13th. Omer in 14th. 15th is Martin. And X Gamer in 16th.
I'm thinking Carmen Robb for the win. Morris second. And I'm going to go for chain game for third.
I'm going to have to go with Rob, Mackett, and Kara in any order.
It's going to be interesting. Who can handle the wet conditions more? Guys, in the chat, put your comments in. Well, there goes my fear about having a dry start. Is wet.
Well, we'd already gotten that information, Oliver. It was going to be a wet race.
I thought I could spice it up a bit. Well, that's gone out the window.
Wow, well, looks like they are already ready to start. So in 15 seconds, we will get our formation lap started and underway. Still have time for those of you watching to get your predictions in for who is going to win this race. I wish we could do a giveaway and actually give them some enticement to actually vote on it. You know, if you get close, you win like a prize or something. But we don't have the ability to do that. At least not the moment.
Oh, imagine that. Free SFR t-shirts.
Dan, Sonic, hint, hint, hint. I know you're watching.
Well, it doesn't surprise what the tyres the drivers have gone on.
Oh, yeah, well, definitely. It's going to have to be the intermediates. I mean, it's not raining all that hard, and, well, quite frankly, I would hate to drive dry tires in this weather. Kara and Morris DSQ out of the formation lap. Apparently, they had a bit of a moment.
And a bit of a bump.
So I wonder if Carwin Robb ends up winning. How far out ahead do you think he's going to be? He started on the pole. That's a deadly combination. Too far, you think?
I think a bit far enough. Well, GP1's watching.
I mean, let's be realistic. If he gets a good start, he's already set himself up for a great race. And I'm not saying that it's going to be decided like that. I mean, he could easily make a mistake. It's just the fact that he is so fast. It's kind of like if you get Lewis Hamilton out in clean air on the pole position and he makes turn one without challenge, he's gone. Carwin Robb is going to be the same way. If he makes turn one without a challenge and he keeps it on the track, he's gone.
Yeah, exactly. You're pretty saying the words out of my mouth, Tim. I can't say much more on that.
Now, Shu, though, this is his best starting spot all season long. So I'd say that he is most definitely going to be looking to challenge Carwin Robb. Probably going to be breathing down his neck. Probably rather be alongside of him, honestly, when they get to turn one. But turn one's not really a corner that you'd want to pass in. But if you can get to their outside, then you would force them to take the outside around turn two, and you might be able to make an overtake, but it's very risky, especially in the rain.
Well, who's going to risk it more? Who is going to risk it more? It depends, Tim.
I'm all for unorthodox overtakes.
Here we go, Tim. GP2 is about to get underway.
And the driver's just waiting and waiting. They are ready to go. You hear those engines revving. You hear those itchy pedal feet. The driver's watching the lights. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights in the air. No red lights. We are green for the Speed Force Racing GP2 Series Canadian Grand Prix. Mackett with a drive-through penalty. He jumped the start, so he's out in the lead very early in the turn number one. Carwin Robb in second. Third place is the AlphaTauri of Shu. Shu on the back of the Haas of Carwin Robb, looking underneath him, doing exactly what I was saying he could do. And he's going to get alongside of Carwin Robb. He's going to make the move around him, and does he hold on to it? On board with Carwin Robb. Shu makes the move. Stick. Carwin Robb drops back to third.
What a great start. Folks, sure, yeah, brilliant work from in there. Good launch off the start, got alongside Carwin Robb, and now Carwin's got a chase in AlphaTauri. And look at Cara having a little look on him as well.
On board with Cara. in 4th place at the moment, trying to chase Carbon. Rob down for 3rd. Rob starting to gain a little bit of ground on Shu up there in 2nd place, but Shu still looks like he's the man with the plan and in action here. 2nd place, and he will inherit the lead because Mackett has a drive-through penalty for a jump start. It was to be fair, it looked like a great start. It would have been an awesome start if it hadn't been a jump start.
A little fraction too early there for Mackett, unfortunately, but it is what it is. But he's on lap 1. There's still a long way to go. Hopefully Mackett doesn't give up after the drive-through.
Well, he's not going to make the drive-through this time. I think he's trying to build a little bit of a gap ahead before he does, but it looks like Shu is actually eating away at that gap, and he ran the fastest lap, a 1:26.7. So Shu is definitely eating away at the gap of Mackett, so he probably should have just taken the drive penalty while he was 1.9 seconds ahead, because Shu is slowly eating away. But just as I say that, it has increased. Mackett might be able to get the 2 seconds, so who knows? Maybe Mackett knows exactly what he has.
I think what Mackett wants to do is trying to maximize the gap as best he can to minimize the damage of the drive-through. We've got a bit of a train forming up behind Cara. Morris is starting to catch up to him now, and it's a big train behind him. Oh, Cara made a mistake! Oh, Cara! Oh, no! Oh, Morris! That is so unfortunate.
It's absolute carnage on lap 2 in the Canadian Grand Prix. Morris and Cara are out. Cara... I switched to them just as it happened, Oliver, so maybe you got a better look at it, but it looked to me like Cara just got loose and hit the wall. He bounced across the track and right into Morris's path. Nothing that Morris could have done.
Oh, such a shame. That's unfortunate.
And
I can't see much more.
I'm surprised that's not a safety car, Oliver. Oh, it is a safety car. Here we go. So the only thing that this really hurts for Mackett is he cannot do his drive-through penalty now.
No, it won't. But it is what it is, unfortunately. Now Mackett's got to reassure himself. When the safety car comes in at the end of the 3 laps, it will be back of the grid for Mackett, but he can still climb back through. He's got pace, but that means he's got very good speed, and he's also got good control of the Alpine. So, well, not the Alpine, sorry, the Williams. So, yeah, I'd say Mackett's got good pace. I think he can climb up the field quite well today.
Maybe so. We'll have to wait and see. Once he does decide to do that drive-through penalty, you cannot serve that penalty under the safety car. Of course, a couple seasons ago, we saw that happen with Dan at actually Circuit of the Americas. He had a drive-through penalty, and he tried to serve it at the end when the safety car was coming in, but he didn't time it right, and he got disqualified from the session.
Yeah, exactly.
And that, I think, killed his championship hopes. He was in a very tight championship battle that season, and it just did not work out for him. I think he was already behind going into Dakota, and then that happened, and it took the championship battle to Brazil, which then his competitor crashed out, and so it took it to Abu Dhabi, and then he ultimately did not win the championship, sadly for Dan. He's watching. I'm sorry, Dan. I know I'm bringing up bad memories for you.
He's just a guy that he just always brings up a bad luck penalty everywhere it goes. I just start to feel really bad for him now, poor guy.
See, I haven't been able to keep up with GP4 much this season, so how is he doing?
Dan, he just gets unlucky, man. He's one of those guys who he keeps on trying, but every time he races, either gets a drive through or a very annoying penalty to go his way.
That is a shame. And another annoying penalty is Mackett, of course, with that drive-through. If you want to talk about annoying penalties, I'm sure that he is kicking himself still. But it looks like Chen Gang Mao has a penalty as well. 3 seconds, apparently, for multiple warnings. And that is not something that you can serve in the pit, so that's going to be added on to his time at the end of the race.
So, we're going to reset, get the cars reformed, and we're going to go again. So if you're as Mackett now, so you're going to have to try and bolt away, are you? Or will you take the penalty straight away after the safety car?
Oh, no. Definitely bolt away, build up that gap. He made a liar out of me. He's got the pace over Shu. I think he can build the gap, so you definitely are going to have to try that. That's really the only smart way to go about it, because the field is going to get more spread out. If you take the drive-through penalty immediately, then you're definitely going to be at the back of the grid. If you just wait and build up a gap, you might at least gain a place or two.
It's coming in the end of the lap.
So we will keep our eyes fixed on Mack. He is the control car. Once that safety car pulls in, he gets to decide when they go. So the field goes on his mark, and they are all watching him, just anxiously waiting.
I'm sure he's got a 5-second penalty for making the collision.
Looks like Maxor's picked one up as well. Senna's got one. Shu's got one. Oh my goodness, a lot of drivers have penalties.
Oh dear, what happened? Oh, there's more coming in.
So what is that?
Senna
10
Maximus
seconds
again.
now. Yeah,
I know
10
that Mack
seconds
is
for
coming
Maximus.
in.
So Mackett does take the drive-through. Shu with a 5-second time penalty. He goes out into the lead now.
More
It looks like
penalties coming in.
There's some carnage in the back, actually. Carbon Rob, it spun around. He's dropping back to 13th place, 12th place at the moment.
Oh no, Colin. Now he's got to fight himself up the field.
So much has happened, I don't know how to keep track of it. I think the Mercedes might have been around, or an AlphaTauri, and Carbon Rob was around, I know that. Chain game, wow,
Well, get this yet, Tim. Get this, right? Sure, have 5 seconds. Godova 10 seconds. Senna 10 seconds. Chain game 3 seconds. Calvin 5 seconds. And there's more cars down there.
He is stuck in a fierce battle for the top 10 positions. It's side by side behind him with Carbon Rob and Martin. Martin trying to make the move around Carbon Rob, or hold him off rather, because Carbon Rob is the one that's trying to charge through the field here. But Martin has the preferred line on that inside through the chicane. Will there be contact? There is a little bit of contact through the chicane, but Carbon Rob clears him as the Ferrari behind him has to cut the corner. Now Carbon Rob has his sights set on the AlphaTauri ahead of him. Chain game, wow, looking underneath the Alfa Romeo of Luke Bailey through the hairpin, and Chain game, wow, gets underneath of Luke Bailey. It's going to be a side-by-side battle down the straightaway. They're both chasing the Ferrari of X Gamer just ahead of him. Chain game, wow, has almost cleared Luke Bailey. He cuts right in front of him. Luke Bailey so close to him. Chain game, wow, move him up into 7. Carbon Rob, he is coming though behind him. He is knocking on Luke Bailey's door. It is a 3-car battle through the chicane of champions past the wall of champions. Chain game, wow, in 7. Luke Bailey in 8. Carbon Rob in 9th. Let's ride on board with him as they approach turn number 1 now. Carbon Rob really close to the back of Luke Bailey in that Alfa Romeo. Luke Bailey goes very wide. Carbon Rob gets underneath him.
That's going to give him a chance. That's going to give Carbon a great chance. Inside line, and, well, easy as you like.
So Carbon Rob moves up into 8th. His next victim, 7th place position of Chain game, wow, in the AlphaTauri, but he has got his sights set on the Ferrari of X Gamer in 6th place. Chain game, wow, a little bit loose out of that corner, has to hang on to it, loses a lot of time to X Gamer.
So, right, Carbon Rob's got to get the gap down to Chain game, wow. Chain game, wow's going to try and catch down to X Gamer. The McLarens are doing very well for Omir and Godobbo. And speaking of Omir, he's getting really, really close to Max Swiss at the moment.
Max was running 4th in the Red Bull. Right on board with Omer in the McLaren. Down this straightaway, Max Oris, of course, focusing on Omer's teammate of Dabo. Shu sets another fastest lap, a 1:20.174.
Is it me, Tim, or is sure you have really dialed into the circuit today?
He is definitely dialed into the circuit. I did not expect this pace from him. I think he was holding back on
Senna
me.
went into the meet. Oh, Senna's crashed out. Senna's crashed out as a safety car.
Now, him going on the medium tires, I wonder, was that a Jeff call?
I think that's a Jeff call.
I'm still waiting for the day that we can just disable Jeff entirely.
Jeff just needs to be fired entirely.
He needs to be disabled, honestly. We need to have that option, because I don't believe that someone's race should be killed over that. And look, Macaulay, he's on the medium tire as well. I mean, it's not raining yet. I mean, it's not.
It stopped raining, actually. It stopped raining.
The track looks very, very wet still. I don't really. I cannot justify a move to medium tires at the moment.
Well, it's the driver's decision. it's the driver's decision if they want to switch to the dry tyres, but Schwab's not coming in. I'm sure a lot more drivers not coming in because they know the track is still too wet. You heard the old Martin Brundle saying, Tim? Be on the right tyre at the right time.
Well, you know, if it works out for Macaulay and he is able to get up there in the first place and win this race, then I will eat my words. Not literally, but you know exactly what I mean. I just don't want anyone to call me out and say, hey, you remember those words you say you were supposed to eat? Well, how are we going to do this? I'm not going to let anyone make me eat some weird thing.
I'm just watching Macaulay now on the medium tyre. Let's have a look through this hairpin. Taking it nice and gingerly. Oh, he's just sliding, isn't he?
Yeah, I really think it was the wrong time to go on to the medium tire. Maybe another lap or two, but I see what he's trying to do. He's probably expecting it to dry up by the time we go green. And honestly, you know, if he times this out perfectly, then he could jump a lot of the guys in front of him.
Even the whole field if he's lucky.
But that's the thing, though. If he times it out perfectly, how long is it going to be until those other guys catch on? Because if it is the right time to switch to medium tires, which it is not, judging by how he's still sliding around, but if it was, we'd see a lot of more guys coming into pit.
Some of the drivers, too, don't forget, they have race engineers on them, so you have to think about that for a second. And they'll notice that Macaulay is on the medium compound tyre, and they'll be monitoring his situation.
Well, the way they monitor the situation now is to watch the stream, and you can see that he is slipping and sliding everywhere. So he's starting to find a little bit of grip, so maybe it'll work out for him. We'll have to wait and see. A few guys, they're trying to pit. Maxorus is in the pit right now, so let's see what he does. Is he going to go on the medium tire?
Soft.
He goes on the soft tire. Okay.
Say that's the right time now?
Maybe so. We were going to say that if it was, Macaulay could jump the field, but maybe Maxorus is going to be the one to jump the field. I think everyone else is still a little bit timid, but as I ride on board with Trench, you can see that the track is starting to dry up. It's still wet in spots, but it's really starting to dry up, so maybe, just maybe, these dry tires are going to work.
Well, these guys have trusted their race engineers, and they go with the call, or they see on the track, so this is what. So hopefully, this is going to be the best call for them. Looks like Maxwell's is taking it really, really gingerly. Macaulay's still slithering around like a snake at the moment.
And I'd imagine it's very hard to get those tires up to temperature on the wet surface because the water's pretty much cooling them down. Never mind the fact that you have no grip because the surface is still wet, but it looks like Macaulay is starting to find a little bit of speed. Still sliding around, but it looks like it's drying up for him and really working for him. So maybe this was the right call. Maxorus will take a look at him. He has actually caught the safety car cue, so we don't get to see him slip and slide around the corners quite like the Aston Martin.
So the safety car is still staying out.
Well, that pays dividends for Macaulay and Maxorus.
So, have they really made this right call? Have Macaulay and Maxorus coming for the right call? Oh, who's that in the pits? That's Escaber's coming in now.
I'm still a bit skeptical, though, Oliver. I really don't know. I'm torn between the two strategies at the moment. And I think that's what a lot of these drivers are. I think that's why we see Maxorus coming in this lap instead of the last lap.
Is it the crossover points, I wonder?
It might be. I know that Shuett looks like he is still comfortable on the intermediate tires. The only thing is, if the guys on the intermediates time it wrong, then they'll have to pit immediately, deal with a lot of traffic entering and exiting the pits, and the guys on the dry weather tires are going to jump them on track. That's
the big factor. The biggest factor is to be on the right tire at the right time, and hopefully these drivers, the rest of the top 10 on intermediates, have noticed this, and they have noticed that the track is drying up, so hopefully this is going to be the big point for them. This could be the make or break change in the race.
I suspect the safety car will come in this lap, and there you have it. There's the confirmation.
Oh, you could have called that well, Tim.
Lap.
Now, this is the big test now. What do you think of those dry tyre runners? What do you think? Have they made the right call, or they made it too early?
Oh, we'll have to wait and see. I don't know which one to watch. I don't know if I should watch you or if I should watch Maxelrus back there, because he is the one leading the dry tire runners.
You know what, Tim? I'll watch the back runners, you watch the front guy. How about that?
There we go. That's why we got 2 commentators. It takes 2 to tango, 2 to race, 2 to commentate, 2 to, I don't know, pretty much do a lot of things in this world.
How about 2 for dates? How about that?
I guess so. I mean, I don't know. You could go on a date with yourself.
I already got my date, thank you.
So shoot the control car through the chicane, and here we go. And it looks like Trench is going down into the pits for dry tires. Shu's going to stay out on the intermediate, so Gadabo and Omer, the McLaren drivers. Second and third place, the AlphaTauri driver, Chain Game Wow, in the 4th position, just behind them. Let's watch Chain Game Wow as he is looking underneath the McLaren of Omer. The McLaren guys, they're having a moment through turns 1 and 2, but now Chain Game Wow moves into 3rd, just past Omer, but hasn't quite cleared him yet. There he goes around him, though. And now Chain Game Wow's got his sights set on Gadabo.
I'm watching Maxerus now, and he's not really getting with the guys in front.
Yeah, Maxelrus not really gaining on the guys in front, but, you know, it is starting to get that time to where you do have to pit for the dry weather tires, so they might have made the right call anyway if they're looking for track position. Guys like Macaulay, X-Gamer, Maxelrus, they were around the top 5, but they were not fighting with Shu up there. So maybe this is just a gamble to try to gain track position.
Big fight in the midfield at the moment with these guys in the midfield. Look at Calvin down the inside of Martin.
Oh, and Calvin spins it into the wall. Oh, and Calvin is wrecked out of the session. In the grass is Calvin. That is such a shame. He had speed today. This could have been a good day for Calvin.
Oh, Calvin. He must have lit up the rear tyres or something. And look at the top guys are coming in now. The intermediate tyre runners are coming in now. So Maxwell, Macaulay, X-Gamer, Trench will gain positions.
They did not gain positions the way they wanted, though. It is under the safety car. So now all of these guys are going to be bunched up behind them, and they're going to have fresher tires than Maxelrus, Macaulay, X-Gamer, and Trench. Now, Trench, he might be
now, this is treacherous. This is treacherous, Tim. If you think about it, is the track still damp? So that means these guys have got the most, I'm not joking, the most fragile of right foots they can get to control the car through these difficult corners.
Oliver, the track is still very much damp. I'm looking on the onboard of Maxelrus, and you can see there's still some wet spots on that track. But we got to think, we have 3 safety car laps. I think it's going to give it just enough time to dry, and these tires are going to just start flying.
Tires fly literally when you saw Calvin.
Well, okay, let me clarify, not quite that kind of flying.
What do you mean, airplane
we
flying?
Might see that. I mean,
well, these Formula 1 cars do have downforce and wings, so they can fly technically, maybe.
Well, I mean flying as in just getting speed down the straightaway. Is that just an
American
term?
Yeah, you know, I was pointing your leg.
Okay, I'm just making sure. It's like don't tell me that's just an American term. I could have swore I've heard you say that before.
So, did Maxerus, X-Gamer, Trench, and Martin made the right call for softs? Because in my view, I don't think the soft tyres are going to last.
No, they're not going to last in the end, but neither are the medium tires. So what we're seeing now is pretty much the race for these guys are starting right now, and they're going to go on a one-stop. So they're starting on the soft. Some guys are starting on the mediums. So the soft runners are going to pit for mediums. Possibly the medium runners are going to probably pit for the softs. It's lap 13 of 35. These medium tires can last, I don't know, maybe 15 laps if you can stretch it. I think I was able to stretch them around 15 laps. The soft tires, traditionally they have always lasted 10 around this course, I thought, but I had a lot of guys telling me on Monday that they're only lasting about 7 laps. So with the safety car laps being factored in, I would say that realistically you're going to see 10 laps on those soft tires before they pit.
In my mind, Tim, I look at the track now, I think it's time to really to dry up now.
It definitely is. But I definitely see the soft tires going on to mediums for the end of the race.
I do see medium tires going on to softs at the end of the race.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I think that's really the only way to go, because you can stretch the medium tires to last long enough to where you can pit on the softs. Now, if you want to play it safe, you can pull in the medium tire and put medium tires on, and you'll probably be fine. But I'm just thinking, if you want that little bit of extra speed at the very end with a light fuel load, soft tires are going to be the way to go.
So we're about to get underway again. Mattress is now the car to control the field, control the pace. What are you thinking, Tim? Is he going to go in before the chicane or after?
I think it's going to be after, and I think that pretty much sums it up. It is going to be after, but look at
McCauley.
He stays close to him. The Aston Martin driver not going to give up. The medium tire versus the soft tires. They charge down into turn number 1. X-Gamer in the Ferrari in 3rd place. 4th place is Trench and Shu in 5th. Shu, very fresh medium tires on that AlphaTauri. It looks like he's going to be able to make a move around Trench here in just a moment. He's looking for it, but he has to back out of it. Trench stays in 4th place for now. McCauley still fighting hard with Maxorus. Looking on the outside of him. It's going to be the inside, but to get to turn 1, and McCauley is able to get around him. But
Great move.
He does clear him, though. He didn't clear him at first. Cleared him through the final corner. Maxorus back out.
The next game, have a good look. Oh, he tried it. The next game, he tried.
3-second time penalty for Luke Bailey for multiple warnings. So not a good race for Luke Bailey. X-Gamer running in 3rd.
Oh, Trench on the outside! Trench is in Maxorus!
Oh.
Trench is in Maxorus!
So Maxorus spins, Trench in 5th, Maxorus all the way down in 9th place. McCauley still in the lead, X-Gamer in 2nd, Shu in 3rd.
7-2 Mackie to Godobbo.
Mackin in 4th place is very much recovered from his drive-through penalty and now back in contention for this race win. Godobbo in 5th place in the McLaren, looking very good so far.
Wow, what a chaotic first lap out of the safety car.
You look up chaos in the dictionary, you get the GP2 Canadian Grand Prix.
And it just... Look at Shoyab, it's really done. Look at him going all over X-Gamer.
Pretty much pushing him down the straightaway with Shu going to X-Gamer. X-Gamer on those soft tires, though, I think that's really helping him stay ahead of Shu, but McCauley, he's got so much pace around here.
I think Shoyab's my favorite to win this race, Tim, you know.
I'd say that you're just about right on that. Oliver Shu is looking very good. He has dominated thus far. Then he had to pit for dry with a tire, so this is really the first of... Oh, my goodness, and the Williams of Mackett trying to make a move around Shu. It's going to be between Shu, Mackett, and McCauley, I believe.
I think so, too. I think, my friend, it's close. It's a close race. Very, very close race.
I mean, I don't think we're giving McCauley enough credit. He is already 1.2 seconds ahead of X-Gamer. X-Gamer's on the soft tires.
But yes, McCauley's pulling oh my God!
X-Gamer, they have contact on the front straightaway. Shu and X-Gamer are out of this race. Shu is trying to make a move around X-Gamer. X-Gamer went over to block. They made contact. Both of them went into the wall.
Oh my good golly, wow.
That was a massive crash.
Now, I don't know what happened there.
And X-Gamer will not receive points for this race because he has not finished 90%.
Shoyab was looking good as well.
Oliver, here's what happened, is that Shu was making a move. In fact, I will rewind the stream because I caught that, but Shu was making a move around X-Gamer, and somehow they made contact. X-Gamer came over on him, and then they got into the wall. So I'm watching the stream back here. I will walk you through it. Going down the front straightaway.
It says on the replays here.
just out of the final chicane, Shu had a massive run on the Ferrari. He was looking underneath him. X-Gamer reacted and tried to block. And then, for whatever reason, they looked good. They looked good down the straightaway. And then, for whatever reason, it looked like X-Gamer just came over a little bit more, and they made contact, and they both went into the wall. I don't quite understand what made X-Gamer move over to the left, because they looked very solid, very stable down the straightaway, and then X-Gamer just drifted over a little bit, and that was enough to make contact. I think maybe he thought he was clear and tried to move in front of Shu, but he wasn't ultimately, and they both were just turning into the wall at that point. Nothing Shu could have done.
That will be going down to the Shewitts in that one, unfortunately. We'll have to see how that result will turn out. But for now, Mackett looks pretty good for this race, for the race win. Macaulay, like you said, he's good. Martin as well, maybe. Luke Bailey and maybe O'Meara. I can't count on Colin Robb as well. Possibly Godobo. I can't call it, Tim.
Mackett and Macaulay, I believe. Godabo, I think he's on board for a podium today, but he just seems like he doesn't quite have the pace that the Aston Martin and the Williams does.
We'll have to wait and see, aren't we?
So it looks like the safety car is in. Macaulay going to be the control car in that Aston Martin. Everyone else just waiting on his mark. We have 9 drivers left in this field. And here we go, green, and Macaulay gets a fantastic start over Mackett. Godabo, though, making a move around Mackett, or trying to as they go down to turn number 1. And on the inside is the McLaren of Godabo.
Oh,
contact, and Godabo goes wide. He is into the grass. Drops down to 4th place, 5th place. The McLaren of Godabo dropping down. Colin Robb in the 4th. TRT Trench, he's in the 2nd. Mackett in the 3rd.
Boys. Boys are on fire tonight.
It is a train of cars going down the straightaway, approaching the 2nd chicane. Trench in 2nd, Mackett in 3rd. Underneath of Mackett, though, it's going to be Carvin Robb, but Mackett defends on the inside, and Mackett holds on to 3rd place. Carvin Robb into 4th. Chain game, wow, he is in 5th place now. Carvin Robb looking for another opportunity to make a move on Mackett, but I don't think he's going to get it this time. Maybe into the hairpin. Who got the better exit? I think it was Mackett in the Williams. He got a fantastic exit out of that corner. TRT Trench up there trying to chase down Macaulay. And Mackett just trying to hold off Trench's teammate of Carvin Robb.
Now what's this race, Tim? Formula 1 or the Demolition Derby?
I don't know. I think we went to a race and a Demolition Derby broke out on him.
Oh, my word. I hope we can get something down soon. But I really doubt it.
So Trench is within DRS range of Macaulay, but he's going to have to stay there for another 2 laps until it is activated. If he's going to take advantage of it, he's on the soft tire, but he's also going to have to pit before too long. He has a lot of safety car laps on that tire, so he can go a little bit longer than traditionally expected. But even still, Trench is going to have to pit eventually, so that is going to pretty much give Mackett the 2nd position and his teammate of Carvin Robb the 3rd position. But Carvin Robb, he is going for the win. You know that. He already has 3 wins on this season, and this is only the 5th race. He wants to make it 4 out of 5.
And look at this, Godabo down the inside and gets New Bailey.
Meanwhile, we have a train of cars for this leader fight, and
Mackett
going
down the inside.
Trench at the hairpin. They're going to be side by side down the straightaway. Oh, but Trench is able to clear Mackett and hang on to 2nd position for now.
DRS will be enabled on the next lap, but who's going to break later? All these guys, Kyron, Mackett coming towards the chicane line of stern in the moment.
On board with Mackett, but Carvin Robb is just behind him. Mackett is pulling away just a little bit, though. Carvin Robb not going to be able to make a move into 1 this time. Macaulay leading this train of cars. Trench, Mackett, Carvin Robb. Carvin Robb on the back of Mackett still tried to think about making a move. Couldn't get a run down the straightaway. Trench is desperately fighting, trying to find a way around Macaulay, but you're going to find those soft tires. They are going to die very soon. Mackett is just waiting on that, and then Macaulay can back up to the Williams driver, who has slightly fresher tires than the Aston Martin. Macaulay, the first driver to blink for the dry tire, so the big disadvantage of that is now he's on the older tire. But Trench, I thought he had a move through that chicane, was not able to complete it this time, but he will have DRS. If he's able to stay there, we might be able to see him moving into the chicane past the wall of champions. But now Mackett's looking underneath the Haas again.
Oh, check game. And it goes Trench.
Oh, and Trench has made the move around Macaulay for first place. Move Trench up into the first position. Macaulay trying to fight back hard. Mackett in the Williams trying to get around the Aston Martin now. He's got the DRS down the straightaway. Is he going to be able to take advantage of it? No, he's not. He's not going to catch him in time, but he got close to him, and that is enough. But a slide through turn one almost sees Mackett off into the grass. He hangs on to it fantastically, I might add. Colin Robb, he's just sitting there being patient and waiting for the rest of this to play out.
I mean, this is incredible, Tim. Any one of these guys can win this race. Any of them. It depends how well the Trench could go on the tires. Colin Robb! The championship leader's gone!
And like I said in qualifying, Oliver, you have to be careful.
Safety car!
That is a deadly, deadly corner. You have to be so careful when you get onto the throttle. Otherwise, that exact thing happens. Carwin Robbie got onto the throttle a little bit too soon, and the wheel spun, and it sent him into the wall.
Oh, disappointing for Carwin.
So now, does Trench pit? Yes, he does, and so does Macaulay.
So, if the roles can be reversed then.
So Mackett stays out on old medium tires. Luke Bailey, Omer, they stay out. Trench is going back onto the softs. That is probably the best move that he could have made. When we go back green, we're going to have about 11 laps to go, 10 or 11 laps, give or take. That might be just enough to make those soft tires last on a light fuel load. So Trench will restart in fourth place, and everyone ahead of him has time penalties. 8 seconds for Mackett, 3 seconds for Luke Bailey.
If Trench can make this work, Tim, we'll still see a Hascon in the lead, if he can make this work.
I think he's going to make it work, Oliver. I'll just be honest. He's the only driver on soft tires. When we go back green, we're going to have around 10 laps to go. It fits perfectly within the soft tire window, stretching it a little bit, sure. But as I've said, with that light fuel load, you have that advantage. You can stretch the tires a little bit longer, and it might be just enough.
Because God said in the comments, burnt my line the driver of the day today.
I'm not seeing that.
He just put in the comments, Bert Mindline, the driver of the day. Go
yes,
after driving the safety car. You'll see in a minute.
What number safety car is this Bossy Gaming cast? Oh my goodness. What is this, third or fourth?
I'm thinking fifth.
Yeah, man, I don't know. Fourth or fifth, maybe. I don't know. Someone go back and count our safety cars. They've been a lot of them in this race.
They need to tally chart it up. Four strikes in the fifth round across. Maggi says the third safety car. I doubt it.
I mean, it might be, but I feel like it's at least the fourth.
I think it's either 4 or 5.
So here's another interesting tidbit that we are neglecting to mention, Oliver. Look at the leaderboard. We have 8 drivers left. How many of those drivers have time penalties?
All of them except Trench.
Exactly. So no matter how you look at it, Trench is sitting very pretty right now. 8 seconds for Mackett, so you can pretty much count him out of the win now. Luke Bailey and Omer, sure, one of them could win if they get out ahead of Trench, but Trench is in 4th place. He's the first driver and only driver without time penalties. And everyone behind him, except for Macaulay, has 6 seconds worth of time penalties. So I think Trench is just going to win by default. Unless he's a good sport and just picks up a 3-second time penalty for ditches. And I don't think he's
You
gonna do
know
it.
Trench is not gonna do that.
Oh, of course not. At least not on purpose.
And there we go, to let's see how Trench can get on when the safety car comes in. It's been a very, very incident-filled race today.
That it has. We're going to ride on board with Trench for this safety car start, and we're going to see how many cars he can pick up. Old tires ahead of him, new tires behind him, but he's on the fastest one of them all.
So, it's all down to Trench. Trench, pole position for the win. But it depends if he doesn't get a penalty. Oh, Mackett's gone. Mackett's gone.
Trench getting a little bit close to that chicane. And there's actually some distance between him and Omer, so Trench is not getting the start that we expected.
Oh, McCoy, have a good look.
Oh, it's a side-by-side battle with Gadabo and Macaulay. Some contact between the two. Macaulay goes wide. Gadabo on the inside, Macaulay on the outside of the Aston Martin. They're side-by-side through the chicane. Some contact still. Macaulay gets the spot. In the sixth place is the Aston Martin. His next victim, Chain Game Wow, the AlphaTauri just ahead of him, who is breathing down the back of TRT Trench, who is just chasing the McLaren of Omer. Trench has caught that McLaren. He's going to get around him sooner rather than later, I'm sure. Look at how much ground he gained into that corner.
So, and look at that chain game trying to get past Trench. Omer trying to get past Luke Bailey at the moment. Oh, this is looking so close.
Trench is really waiting for the DRS to be active because that could help him out massively. He got a good run down this straightaway, but it's not going to be enough to pass the McLaren yet. A little bit of a slide from the McLaren through that corner, but Trench is still he doesn't have the speed that I expected him to have.
I think, like you said to him, I think he's waiting. I think he's waiting for the DRS to come out, and then he'll have the advantage. But look at Chain Game still on the back of him.
Trench has caught Omer once again. He was very close entering that first chicane, but now Omer has put a little bit of ground between the two. But it looks like Omer is starting to catch the back of Luke Bailey. So Luke Bailey is probably going to hold that McLaren up a little bit. And Trench will be able to maybe overtake two of them for the price of one.
So Luke Bailey's called Mackett now.
Staying on board with Trench, but there you see Luke Bailey fighting with Mackett just ahead, and Trench.
I think Trent's got a good drive. I think Trent's got the drive.
Chain Game Wow on the back of him, though, so Trench cannot afford to make any mistakes. And on the back of Chain Game Wow is the Aston Martin of Macaulay. Trench thought about making a move on Gadabo, couldn't make it work, so he falls back in line. Lap 25 of 35. And now lap 26 of 35. 10 laps to go in the GP2 Series Canadian Grand Prix. Mackett is your leader with 8 seconds worth of time penalties. Luke Bailey and Omer both with 3 seconds. Trench, the only driver without time penalties, in 4th place. And honestly, if the race were to end right now, Trench would still win this race just because
I think that's what Trench is doing, Tim. To be honest with you, I think that's what he's doing. I think he's playing safe. Why not? I think he's going to play safe with these guys.
And that's honestly the smartest move that he can do. Only overtake if you have to. Don't push it, because if you force the issue, then you're going to wind up like your teammate, and that is crashed out.
I think that's what Trench is doing. I think he's staying safe. I don't think he wants to risk playing the move out if he wants to.
This is an entire line of cars lined up behind Mackett. Our entire field is pretty much within a couple seconds of each other.
And it's just a snake, a multicolored snake at the moment. Oh, it goes Chain Gang with a look. No.
Now, Chain Game Wow, we'll look at him. He has 6 seconds worth of time penalty, so he is trying desperately just to get out ahead of the guys behind him, because Martin has 6 seconds worth of time penalties. Gadabo has 9 seconds worth of time penalties. Macaulay, though, he's got 3, so he can jump Chain Game Wow at the end of this race and finish top 5.
There we go again, DRSM once more.
seconds. A DRS train. This is really starting to look like Talladega from 2006, except it's on a road course and not a...
On a good chain game, have a little look. Oh!
A big lockup from Chain Game, and he spins through
now
the hairpin.
did Trench force him off onto the grass? And look at Trench once more.
Going around Omer, and he is in third place very comfortably, I might add. And Luke Bailey's
taking the lead.
Mackett.
Oh, because Mackett's pitting.
Mackett pits. Luke Bailey in the lead. He has got to find 3 seconds over Trench if he's going to win this race. And that's going to be a very difficult task to do with 11 laps already on your medium tires. Here are the time penalties. 6 seconds, actually. Luke Bailey's going to have to find 6 seconds over Trench.
Now, it depends on Trench's tires. Will they wear off within the 6th lap, within the laps remaining, or has Trench got enough grip and life in the tires to actually stay with Luke Bailey?
I think he's got enough life in the tires. 3 of those laps are safety car laps.
Look at Martin down the inside of Macaulay. Oh, he tried it.
So a big battle here in the midfield. Macaulay in 4th place, Martin in 5th. The reserve driver moving up from GP3 into GP2, and he is in the top 5. DRS, but so does Macaulay on the McLaren of Omer. So when you have a DRS train like that, you're really not gaining any significant advantage over your other competitors.
Again, I think TRT Trench is just playing safe. That's what he's doing, just playing it safe.
And that's the best thing that he can do. Luke Bailey knows that he's got to get 6 seconds ahead of Trench, and realistically, I do not see that happening. It's just not feasible. Luke Bailey has 11 laps on those medium tires. They are wearing out. Trench's soft tires are wearing out, sure, but it pretty much equalizes to where they're going to stay approximately where they are now.
Martin's having another go, Tim.
Oh, contact with Macaulay. And Macaulay, oh, Martin gets another 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings.
Godolphin's having a look as well.
So Godabo around the outside of Macaulay, or at least trying to. Godabo's got 9 seconds with the time penalties, though. Oh, Godabo forced Macaulay off into the grass. Oh, and
look at Chain Game.
Hang on to it. Chain Game wound
look at 3 wide.
3 wide battle down the back straightaway in Canada. Oh, and some contact still between Macaulay and Macaulay spinning into the wall.
Well, that was only going to end up one way.
Yeah, pretty much. And, you know, I think that maybe Macaulay should have backed out of it, and he could have avoided that because he would have still got the position after time penalties. But now he's got 6 seconds worth of time penalties, and he's having to pit for a new front wing. He's just lucky he didn't DNF out of the race just now.
So Trench, he's just chilling, isn't he? Just chilling. He doesn't need to do anything. Look at Martin on the back of Omer now.
You know, if Martin didn't have 9 seconds worth of time penalties, I'd almost say that he could win this race. And you got to think that he's probably kicking himself for having those time penalties. Because he's so close.
Martin's put up a great performance today.
He could almost get a podium, but ultimately with 9 seconds, it's just not going to happen. Omer has 3 seconds worth of time penalties, but I think he is going to be safe for the podium because Mackett has 3 seconds, but he is so far back that he won't be able to take advantage of that. Luke Bailey, he's got 6 seconds worth of time penalties, so he'll probably drop to 3rd. I think it's going to be Trench, Omer, and Luke Bailey as your finishing order. That's what it's looking like so far. Mackett sets the fastest lap, though, a 1:10.614. That is a point to him.
Might as well, since he's on the soft tyre. I think McCoy's going to do the same thing. So, what's Martin going to do, Tim? Well, Martin's got nothing to lose now. He's got to attack Omer.
Honestly, it's just not worth attacking him. The best thing you can do is just ride in a line and wait for the end of the race. You've got 9 seconds for the time penalties. You are not going to be able to advance your position. The best thing to do is just take your good performance and go home with it and just accept the time penalties. Because regardless, he's not going to do any worse than 8. And really,
oh, me having a look, Tim. Oh, me having a look.
Now,
I think Omir's had enough.
That he has, and realistically, Omer could win this race, but he would have to pass Trench and get 3 seconds ahead of him. But if he can somehow do that, then he could win this race, but he'd have to get around Luke Bailey as well, and that's going to be very difficult.
So, if Omer attacks Trench now and attacks Luke Bailey, he needs to sprint to it, but I don't think Martin's gonna say no to that, Tim. Oh, he tried it, didn't he? But Martin stays behind the McLaren.
He definitely tried it, but it did not work for him. Omer still holding on very solidly to 3rd place on the back of Trench, lap 32 of 35. You got to think Luke Bailey is still kicking himself. He is just thinking, man, if I did not have these time penalties, I could be on for a win right now. Oh, and Omer around Trench, and he makes the move stick. My goodness, move Omer up into the 2nd position.
What a move!
And now Martin going around Omer. Martin's going to make a move, or going around Trench, excuse me. Trench drops down to 4th, Martin into 3rd. Is his tires wearing out?
That's what I'm saying. It depends on the life of the tyres. And look at Chenke Wells. I'm going to go to a Trench. Yeah, the tyres are dying off for Trench now.
I thought for sure he would be able to make them last long enough, but it's looking like maybe he's not going to be able to do that. The question is his win in jeopardy at the moment? I think right now he might be okay if the race ended this very second, but the longer it goes, we have still got 2 more laps, or 3 more laps. So the longer it goes, the more pressure.
And look at the gap Luke Bailey's pulling away now. It's now 1.6 seconds over Omer. And look at this. Chenke Wells going to have a look at Trench. Down the inside into the turn hairpin. He's going down the inside of Trench. And now that means Chenke Wells pushing Trench.
Oh! Right where his teammate did it. Now Trench is out.
Oh, no.
Just like his teammate. He
and look at Martin.
Like
is Martin all right or something, Tim?
I don't think so. He's in 2nd place. He's got 9 seconds for the time penalties. He can't win this race, but he doesn't care. He's still going for it.
Do you think Luke Bailey's going to win this race now?
No, I don't know. Here, let's take a look at the time penalties. I have lost track of what is happening. Omer has 3 seconds for the time penalties. Luke Bailey with 6, Barton with 9, and then Chenke Wow with 12. I think it's Omer's to lose. Omer just has to stay where he is, and he will win this race.
Unbelievable. What an incident-filled race.
The only other driver that's got a shot is Mackin. He has got 3 seconds worth of time penalties, but he has to get past Gadabo and Chenke Wow.
He's 13 seconds, Tim. He won't catch him.
Exactly. Too late for a safety car.
Well, it's Luke Bailey's race to lose.
Well, he doesn't have a say in that either.
And look at Chain Game on the side by side of Omer.
And Omer lets him go. Omer knows that he is exactly where he needs to be. Oh my goodness, and the Alpine of Martin crashes out. So now Martin is out of the race. He was on for a podium, not anymore.
Oh,
Martin is
no.
dead in the water in that Alpine. So now Luke Bailey, Chain Game Wow, and Omer, your top 3. This is the final lap of the race. Luke Bailey with 6 seconds worth of time penalties. Chain Game Wow with 12. Omer with only 3. He will inherit the win as long as he keeps it clean through this final lap. That is all he has to do, is finish this lap, and Omer will be the winner.
Who would have thought that McLaren is going to win this race today? Who would have thought Omer was going to win the race today? What a race we had today, Tim.
What an incredible race indeed, and to top it all off, Gadabo gets 3 seconds worth of time penalties. That helps his teammate out even more. Just keep it clean, Omer, and you will have this win. Luke Bailey is 2 seconds ahead of Chain Game Wow, 2.5 seconds ahead of Omer, and with not enough time to increase the gap anymore, He's going to finish in first, but he's not going to be credited with first. But it is going to be the McLaren of Omer who is singing, "Have you ever seen the rain coming down on a sunny day?" Omer will win the race. Luke Bailey drops down, but how far? Omer into first, Luke Bailey into second, Chain Game Wow into third. Gadabo in fourth, Mackett in fifth, and McCauley in sixth.
Unbelievable. What a race.
And I've got to say, my driver of the day, can we choose two of them?
Oh, can we choose two? We can't, unfortunately.
I got to go with Omer then. He won the race. He made up 13 spots from where he started. Omer is by far my driver of the day.
I'll agree with you on that one.
So we will talk to Omer, Luke Bailey, and Chain Game Wow after the race, and Omer gets credited with driver of the day, rightly so. What a fantastic and unexpected race that the GP2 series had today. No one expected both Haas cars to wreck out. We honestly thought that Carwin Robb was going to be another shoe-in for the win. He got the pole. He's always fast, but then it just didn't happen. It could have, and he wrecked out. And then Trench could have won, and he wrecked out. In two different parts of the circuit, but in exactly the same fashion, the Haas boys wreck out, and Omer, with 3 seconds worth of time penalties, wins the race by jumping the other guys at the end. Here are your official finishing results for the Speed Force Racing GP2 Series Canadian Grand Prix. Omer scoring his first win on the season in the McLaren. Luke Bailey in second. Chain Game Wow in third. Gadabo in fourth. And McCauley in sixth. And that is the only 6 drivers that finished the race except for Mackett, or McCauley in fifth, Mackett in sixth, excuse me. That's the top 6. Those are the ones that finished the race. Martin in 7th. Trench in 8th. 9th is Carwin Robb. X-Gamer in 10th. 11th is Shu. Maxorus in 12th. 13th is Calvin Racing. Senna Martins in 14th. Morris in 15th. And 16th is Kara, the GP4 champion, bringing up the tail of the field in this race. But we will talk to Omer, Luke Bailey, and Chain Game Wow here in just a few moments' time. That was just an insane race.
If you have joined the party, please remember, no swearing. We are broadcasting. So just a reminder, no swearing, please.
Copy.
Tim, they're all yours.
Well, I would love to be able to get to the showroom for the interview, but I don't think it's going to cooperate for me this time. So, if you all are in here, please make sure you've allowed your voice to be shared. If you don't know how to do that, go over to the party settings, click Always Allow, and let me know when you're ready. Are we ready?
I'm ready. Yeah. For me, yes.
All right, well, then first things first, let's talk to our winner, the McLaren of Omer. And if I'm saying your name wrong, please correct me. But I just want to say, give me your raw emotion. How are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling pretty good, and you did a good job with my name there. I don't think that you can get it right. But that was pretty good already. The race was fun. I didn't expect rain at the start. Obviously, I couldn't drive the qualifying, so I was starting in the back on P14, and yeah, it was really smooth at the beginning. I went upwards until like P4 or something, and then I got screwed over by the safety car because obviously my teammate went into the pits. And yeah, I lost all of those places, but I somehow managed to get it back. Obviously, there were many people retiring, so that helped. What was it, 5 or 6 finishes at the end? But of course, I'm very happy, very proud of the result, and the first podium of the SFR. Hopefully, many more to come.
So, what was it like driving through the field and passing all of these wrecked cars? And then what was the moment that you realized, oh my goodness, I'm going to win this race?
I think it was on the last lap, on the entry into the last lap, when the guy on P2, I forget the name, sorry, when he crashed out. But I was thinking the whole time that most of the people in the back, they had the fresher tires than me, so they were going to get past, but it was so hard to get out of the DRS train. So, yeah, I don't know, I even forgot the question, sorry.
Well, just what was it like moving through the field and passing all these guys that have wrecked out time and time again?
Oh yeah, no, I remember. To be honest, I didn't do a lot of passing. Most of the people just they either went into the pits or they spun. But yeah, of course I did some moves, and it was fair. It was good racing with all of them, actually, and I enjoyed it very much.
Now, do you like Canada? Did you have confidence going into this race, or is this just, completely a surprise for you?
I like Canada as a track. In the F1 game, we have the problem with the track limits. I'm not a big fan of that. But from the beginning on, I told myself I will try not to get any penalties. It didn't work. I got one, but that was just enough for me to get the race win. So, yeah, but normally it's a pretty basic track for me, so it's not good or bad. Yeah, today it worked out.
Oliver, do you have any questions for our winner?
Yeah, Amir, what is it like to have that? Like Tim said, how does it feel to have this win now, and how do you feel looking forward to France?
Before, it was my second race in the SFR in GP2. So, and the first round didn't go as planned. I was in Bahrain and didn't really get a result. So I was already thinking that I might be too slow for the league. But I mean, the tables have turned now. So I'm looking forward for the next races, and hopefully I can fight for more podiums, even wins. But it's going to be hard. The field is looking very strong, especially in the dry.
Well, Omer, congratulations on your first win in SFR. I'm sure that this is just a fantastic feeling for you, and I'm going to say that you picked a fantastic race, a crazy race, to choose your first win.
Thank you very much.
All right, we'll go ahead and talk to our second place finisher, the Alfa Romeo of Luke Bailey. So Luke Bailey, first off, even though you had a very impressive drive, I'm sure that you are kicking yourself over those 6 seconds worth of time penalties. Where did they come from? So, what were your expectations going into Canada? Did you expect to be contending for a podium, or did you just jump in here and let what happened happen? And it was a chaotic race, as you have very much already noted. What was your view of it? Because you were in front of some of it, but then you were behind some of it as well. Well, you did a fantastic job, and even though it's not the result you wanted, a second place is still a good day in the points. Congratulations to you, Luke Bailey. Now we'll talk to our third place finisher, Chain Game Wow, in the AlphaTauri. Chain Game Wow, I think this is the first time that I've ever seen a driver finish on the podium with 12 seconds worth of time penalties, and I'm assuming that they came from, turn 1, turn 2, turn 3.
Tim, kind to say, Chain Game is back!
Well, I used to mean train game by a lot of NSFR. But yeah, after I got the fourth penalty, I knew I threw it away as I was too ambitious at turn 1 when I want to overtake the McLaren. And then on last lap I was like, push, and I made 2 or 3 mistakes onto that lap, and I was like, the podium is done, but somehow Gobble did also get a 12 second, and then I was driving quite slowly, and then I was bloody happy with the podium.
I'd say you are. Now, what were your expectations going into Canada? Because it really seems like a lot of people don't expect to have a good race in Canada, and then it just happens.
Well, my expectations are very low. I crashed after 3 laps in quali, so that wasn't really positive. So I was like, if I last 6 laps, then I'm happy. Plus my saddle was understeering like a boat, so I was like surviving everything, and there were also 5 others who survived with me today. So, but my expectations were really low, and this podium feels like a win.
And what are your expectations for France next week?
Much higher. I like France a lot more than Canada, as Canada's for me same like Russia, penalty heaven. So I hope that to have a good race and hopefully again a top 5.
Well, congratulations on your result today, Chain Game Wow, a podium finish for you. And Oliver, do you have any closing thoughts? Alright, I guess I'll take that as a no, Oliver. So I guess that's all the time that we
Wait, Tim, what did you say?
Do you have any closing thoughts?
Sorry, I was lost in my train of thought. I just feel like this race today was absolutely one of the most incident-filled, bang-crashing, demolition derby races I ever witnessed. Onward to France now. I'm sure we get more entertainment from the GP2 guys, and hopefully guys like you, Amir, and Che Gibb and Luke Bailey really take this podium as a great motivation to the next race.
I'd say you're right about that, Oliver. It was a chaotic race. We went to a race and a demolition derby broke out. That's exactly what happened. And only 6 cars finished, which is insane. And would you believe it is still not the most carnage-filled race I have seen? Maybe the second or third, but definitely not the first. And with that, that's all the time that we have. So thank you to everyone who watched the stream. Congratulations to our podium sitters. And thank you to all the drivers that race with us. And until next time, good morning, good evening, good day, good night, wherever you are in the world. Have fun, and goodbye.
Sign.